Two rolling. Action.
Good evening, Your Majesty.
Good evening.
We're here to learn more about Opobo and the Jaw history. Sir, can you kindly tell us the beginning of Opobo? Who are the people of Opobo and where are they from?
Opobo people are from Bali. They have that filial attachment to Bali because our progenitors left a place called Okoloba in western Delta and founded Bali, and we were all there until 1869 when there was a problem between Jaja, Kujumbo, and the major houses of Bali. And then King Jaja and his followers had to leave Bali about the 24th of September 1869 and founded Opobo here and in 1870. And from then on, they established themselves here as traders and merchants, you know. So you can trace Opobo people right back to their main origin, that's Okoloba, you know, in Western Nigeria, and Bali, from where we eluded and founded here.
Sir, what's the meaning of Ijo?
Ijo is can be interpreted in many ways. Some people say it's a name that had been corrupted to what it is today. But it is one name that binds people, the Ijaws, right from the eastern Ijaw to Ondo. That's the name that binds them. And this name is traceable to other ethnic nationalities. That's what Ijaw is all about.
Sir, is there an underlying culture of Ijo, African culture?
Well, an underlying culture, you see that they just, maybe because of their riverine environment where they grew up and where they finally settled. They haven't come so many other places to settle. Seafarers, and if they are seafarers, then they naturally are fishermen, and some of them also may be farmers, those who have arable land to farm. But principally, the Jaws are fishermen. They enjoy the sea, and they build houses close to the river, and their means of transportation has always been the dugout canoes. You know, that has been their means of. They are riverine in everything that they do, and if you trace the Jaws right from eastern Jaws to western Jaws to down to Ondo, you'll find that they love, that they are decent people. They dress well, they adorn their chests with gold. Their women also are so well adorned. So the people have the same culture runs through, you know, from the eastern area to Ondo. And that is their way of doing things. They are people who liked to tie cloth, wear decent top, they'll complement it with so many other things, with hats and that their men, their women also have a way of tying their cloth that is quite unique. Ijaw, if you see an Ijaw woman or Ijaw man, you will know that he's an Ijaw man.
Does the jaw have an oracle,
An oracle.
traditional oracle?
Well, there are so many. You cannot pin them down to just one. So many people have different oracles, different things that they worship, or different things that they believe in. Some could be water, the sea, some could be trees, some could be molded earth and all that kind of thing. They have oracle, yes, they do have.
With Jaja of Opobo, the most popular resistance story for colonization,
Yeah.
can you tell us, because some people have said that it was forced the trade, that they signed to the trade and they realized that it was colonization. Can you just give us a background on what happened with Jaja?
I don't quite get you.
That what resulted in the war or in the attack on Opobo?
Oh, well, you remember that your history, you read about the incursion by the white men into territories that were owned by King Jaja. When they came here, after abolition of slave trade, oil and palm kernel became the mainstay of the economy. And at that time too, industrial revolution had taken root in Europe, and they were looking for oil to feed their machines and then lubricate their machines. So they came here called supercargoes to buy oil and palm kernel. But Jaja and his men were already traders in this commodity, and therefore would not want anyone to interfere in their market. Therefore, they agreed with them to stay off their markets. They go buy this commodity from the hinterland and then sell to them at the coast. At a point, the white traders started disobeying this agreement and wanted to go deep into the hinterland, and that was where the problem started, and King Jaja resisted and said that they could not go into his territory to pick or to buy oil, that they stay at the coast. They will, as middlemen, buy this commodity and sell to them. So when the British government found that it was impossible to go beyond that their trade was dying, and that it was impossible to go beyond the point that Jaja asked them to stop, they came up with what they called a protection treaty. A protection treaty was the treaty of 1884, which provided that the British government will use their power to protect the any kingdom that traded with them and allow them to trade unfettered. But unfortunately, they brought the document to King Jaja. It was a document of 1st December 1884. And King Jaja looked at that document and saw that there was Article 6 that postulated postulated free trade. That is, Jaja and his chief would allow the supercargos to free unfettered access to their markets. I think Jaja said no, that with that he couldn't sign that document with Article 6 there. Consul Hewitt, who was representing the British government, tried very hard to convince him and to say that the Queen did not want to take his territory, but to make sure that no other nation took his territory. But he said he was not going to sign, and he insisted until they cancelled that article. That's what made one of the things that made Jaja famous, because he resisted and protected his commodity, his trade. That the origin of resource control. That was how he became the champion of resource control. So this is a nutshell what caused the problem he had with the British. Of course, he refused them, taking over his trade, and then they came up with all sorts of trump-up charges. Kidnapped him on the 18th of September 1887 and took him to Accra, in the present Ghana, where he was a mock-up shop, court was set up where he was adjudged guilty and then given an option to go to 5 towns, or 4 towns, on exile. But he later chose to go to the West Indies for his 5-year exile time. So that's in a nutshell what happened.
Please, what island in the West Indies was Jaja go to?
Well, he was taken to first was St. Vincent, island of St. Vincent, before he was moved to Barbados. It was from Barbados down that in 1891 that after a series of protests that he was released to go home. But the British knew that he didn't have long to live, and he was no more a threat to them, because they had unfettered access in the absence of Jaja. So it is suspected really that the release was not done it was not a fair deal, because they had already tampered with his medicine, tampered with his food. That's what is being suspected, because all over it's been suspected that he must have been poisoned. But they will still investigate it to find out the truth in that. So by the time he left St. Jamestown to on his way back, he became very ill. So he was taken to Santa Cruz in Tenerife Island, Spanish island, where he died on the 7th of July, 1891. So there he was buried temporarily, as was exhumed and buried in Opobo the same year.
Thank you. Now, coming to the colonization and with the kings whose territory has been taken, we are still facing that position 130 years afterwards.
Sorry?
I said, I believe we are still facing the issues of 130 years that Jaja of Opobo fought to keep control of his territory and what it means to trade. Do you believe that we have got to the optimal system, or do we need to evolve further to give back that freedom to, I mean, like in management, they say the best decisions are taken locally. What we have across Africa now is that decisions are taken from a faraway capital.
Yeah.
So resources lay fallow because it's what they want there. This is not, has nothing to do with ethnicity, but a principle of management.
Well, unfortunately, the present crop of politicians have not been able to utilize the potentials within the traditional institution. Traditional institution, the traditional rulers are custodians of culture and tradition of their people, and therefore they are at the grassroots. Even if decisions are taken at the top, there has to be a system in which that decision can be brought down to implementation stage. And who are the heads of this implementation level? They are the traditional rulers. So if the government takes the traditional rulers into confidence and makes the traditional rulers part of the execution of their policies, then the policies would be best executed and would affect the people more directly than leaving it in the hands of politicians to execute. Because the traditional rulers know who are the subjects. The traditional rulers have a system, an old system, whereby they can communicate with their people. Within the traditional circle, you cannot tell lies. If you tell lies, there is something that the traditional ruler will do, and you start singing, you start telling the truth, because you know if you tell a lie that you will die. That property, that system is not within the political system. The traditional rulers have it. The traditional rulers are great in conflict resolution, and therefore, if the traditional rulers are entrusted with issues that would help government move further, and government also to reach the generality of the people they want to, then it is easy through the traditional rulers. So there has to be, I'm surprised that there is not even a ministry. Well, when you talk of Ministry of Chieftaincy, Ministry of Chieftaincy is there to see to it that traditional rulers are recognized, traditional rulers are, those that are the good, or traditional rulers, are informed about what the government wants to do, and sometimes they seek they seek their advice on certain things. But we need a ministry that has traditional rulers always in focus. A ministry that would be discussing each policy that government comes up with is thrown over to the ministry. The ministry now takes this policy down to the traditional rulers and discuss this policy, and then they decide on how to disseminate the information. You see, it's different from the ministry, sending papers to governor to approve the recognition of this person, approve the recognition. At that point, the ministry will be working with the traditional rulers in a way that the policy of government will be the focus of their discussion, will be the real thing that they're discussing, and then you see the input coming out from that discussion.
Your Majesty, some people say that all political campaigns start from the palace, and that our kings have the power to, they have the inherent power to uplift us, but that the problem has been the lack of unity among indigenous monarchs. Because some will claim that the North, under the Caliphate, are unified and they get more for the people, but we, indigenous in the South and Middle Belt, that they together and they gave birth to conservatism, which is what we're still doing.
Yeah.
What they're saying now is that our indigenous monarchs need to unify and stop the supremacy battles that have split. What do you think about that?
I don't think that there is any real battle. It's just that you see, some time you find some people stoking the fire, trying to knock heads of traditional rulers together, and that is what causes problems. You said earlier that they say political power starts from the palace. It does not really. The traditional ruler is not a politician. The traditional ruler has to find a way to balance the interests of his subjects. You cannot be a traditional ruler and one of your subjects comes and says, look, I've been nominated or elected by my party to represent them. And you say, oh, that's very good. This is our turn now. You go ahead, I'll tell my people to support you. Once a traditional ruler does that, then you are abdicating your role as a father, because all your subjects are under you, and the Constitution gives them the right of freedom of association. So their subjects are free to join any party of their choice. So if any of them comes to you, they are your sons. You encourage them. So go ahead with what they are doing, but don't show any partiality. And remind them that only those that God has passed and approved that they will rule, that will rule. It is not because of coming to the palace that you will succeed. I pray for you. I pray for you. I pray for you. Pray for all your sons who are, because you are their father. So you see, you don't become parochial. You don't try to stay on the side of one political party when you are the traditional ruler, because you have your other sons and daughters to contend with. You seem to be choosing among your sons and daughters, which will not go well.
Your Honor, please, what does Amanyanabo mean?
This Amanyanabo just simply means, in Ibadi language, it means owner of the land. Amanyanabo, the owner of the land.
Now, you have a council.
Yes, we have a council.
Answerable to, after the king, Because
Yeah.
what I'm trying to point out is that
So
nowhere
we have a structure, a structure in like in any monarchy, a structure. After the king, you have the chiefs. After the chiefs, you have titled citizens. After titles, you have elders. After elders, you have the young women and men. You know, that's it. So the king is at the apex of this triangular shape structure.
who is the topmost woman?
The topmost woman in any monarchy will be the queen.
No, I mean, do you have a like the woman, the head of trade, like
No,
in
no,
your?
we don't have that. We don't have that. But we have women leaders. But these women leaders are under the queen of the kingdom.
So, like, what festivals can people look towards in?
So, I wish I had my WhatsApp. I would have shown you. We have published a long list of festivals that are coming up from. We even started since 7th of December when we lit the Christmas tree and had our Christmas carol. We have the women have their own traditional functions and their own traditional dances and things. And then the men also have their own discipline. But you'll find that it's a mix of modernity and ancient. So you have coming in women going on early morning jogging and running, and then you have men too following up, and you have the tennis tournament for youths. Then you have regatta, you know, on the 31st. Then you have the carnival. The carnival regatta precedes the water carnival. After which, you know, we have different types of masquerades. So for us, you know, in Opobo here, we start our Christmas and New Year festivals from the 24th of December. On the 24th of December, we have what we call foisting of house flags, walking house flags. So if you come around on the 12th, on the 24th, you'll see that every compound in this place must have their own specific flags. And those flags will fly till the 31st of January. And that is the official day of ending the Christmas and New Year festivities. Because in those days when our forefathers were alive, when they were masters of their own, when they had palm oil and palm kernel trade going on, they will shut down their trade till the 31st of January, after which they go back to their oil business. So that period, they use that period for masquerade dances and plays. So that's exactly what we are trying to recreate.
Can you tell us a few names of your masquerades?
So we have Owumbila, that's the first one that comes out. Owumbila, that's the first one. That one will run, will be out till the end of the masquerade. And then we have Otaria, we have Joe, we have Ebelebe, we have so many, Guerende and other things. And, sorry?
Most groups have an animal totem.
Yes.
in Africa.
Yes.
Some use crocodile, some use
Yeah,
leopard.
some use iguana.
What does your
I don't know about other
Opobo?
jaws. I know that when we all together in Bonny before 1869, the totem was the iguana before the advent of Christianity. The totem was the iguana. So they worshipped it and they never killed it. Because after the Bishop Jaja that came to Bonny that they started killing iguana. And the worshippers started dwindling. So
What about crocodiles?
no, crocodiles was never considered. It was iguana that they worship. There are people, in other places that worship crocodile. They never touch crocodile. There are other parts of Israel, really, where they venerate the python. They can never touch the python. The python comes around and, rather than drive it away, they throw some food to it and it crawls away.
Thank you, Your Majesty.
Thank you.
Maybe one last one is, we need to change the system.
Yes.
And the only way we can change the system is if the indigenous people can come together
Yes.
on their land, the sons of the soil,
Yeah.
to say this is how. Can you see a situation where the sons of soil in the south and middle belt can come together?
Oh yes, why not? People of the same birds of the same plumage flock together. In the south here, we have so many things binding us together. Some culture, some dancing, some singing, some friendship that was struck, from the old. So, and our former political system had also made it that we kind of are together. If Lugard did not amalgamate North and South protectorate in 1914, maybe we would have been together as Southern Nigeria, or whatever other name that it would have been called. And the North would have also been in the North, But the bringing together of the North and South and protectorate has brought us all together. But it did not stop the North knowing that, realizing that they are from the North. The religion, language, and such things have, put them together. So also in the South, religion, predominantly Christian, and our way of doing things, understanding, has also made us one block of people in the South.
Some people will say that the breakup of Southern Protectorate in 1935 was a major problem for Southerners, whereas North was left intact.
Well, I wouldn't think so. I think the South allowed itself to be to be divided, and I think what has kept the North together are two things: language and religion. In the South, take for instance Christianity. We have hundreds of different Christian faiths, some believing in so many things that others don't believe. So that helps to divide the South. And also, there are some too who don't really believe in Christianity, believe in other things that others don't believe. So it's always difficult for us to speak the Gongwes because our languages are different. You see here the Doman. The Doman, you move from one point to the other. You'll find that there are some variants, there are some changes in certain things. The words that they use are different, but they are yet very much of the same ethnicity. So that's it. Our language, our religion, our way of life, those are some of the things that have kept us divided and has not given us the opportunity to be united.
Sir, as a trustee of Ashe Foundation, sir, and the push that we're trying to show that all our languages in the South is a continuum, a continuum of dialects, like you said. Yoruba gradually becomes another, you can't say this is where.
Yeah.
So, sir, do you, I mean, you must have supported, but I want to say on camera how you support Ashe Foundation to research and propagate the cultural unity, not political, but cultural unity of the South and the North.
Well, the Ashe Foundation is blazing a trail for me that has not been there before. Bringing all cultural diversity together, trying to trace our roots, and also trying to do things together. And as a matter of fact, answering the question, who are we? That is what the Ashe Foundation, for me, I think, is doing. Trying to trace our commonness, where we come from, how we came from, how we do things, and all that, and then trying to use that, to make us great.
Thank you, Your Majesty.
Thank you.
We really thank you.
Thank you very much.
So, Your Majesty, please.